basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors are battling adversity in this difficult season. In each round of the NBA, the Warriors have had players injured. Two great players were hired, the three-point shooter Buddy Hield and guard Dennis Schroeder were called out. Buddy Hield started the season as the best sixth man in the NBA, but his production dropped alarmingly, and in some games he has been hitting shots again, but even so he is unable to maintain a high level of play. Dennis Schroeder has not yet acquired full rapport with the Warriors squad and is still not having the necessary consistency. And the search for a reliable player continues, and every day rumors are emerging that Kevin Durant will ask the Phoenix Suns to be traded to another team. The Warriors are aware and logically want Durant back in San Francisco. Kevin Durant likes the Warriors because he was the NBA champion, and Durant declared that he really likes playing with Stephen Curry, and this could happen again. Warriors fans are on social media and asking, "Do we want Kevin Durant to return?" Shout Warriors fans who are used to rewards and titles. Warriors fans are calling for trades for Kevin Durant to come to San Francisco. Warriors are favorites to sign Kevin Durant if he asks for a trade. With Stephen Curry and Durant, it will be a team feared by its rivals and that has everything it needs to reach the Western Conference Finals. After losing the 2016 NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors shocked the league by signing Kevin Durant. The move completely destroyed the power dynamic in the NBA, as the Dubs already had three NBA All-Star caliber players in Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Over the next 3 years, the Warriors dominated the Western Conference and made 3 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals. The Dubs came away with 2 titles in 3 years. However, since then, Durant has hardly seen the same level of success. He played for 2 super teams, the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns. Speaking of the latter, the Suns were expected to be the next big thing in the league this season. The proposed trade would send Kevin Durant to the Warriors in exchange for Buddy Hield, Andrew Wiggins, and Kevin Looney. Warriors fans are going viral wanting this trade to happen. One fan wrote, "They should do this. Bring Durant back." It's safe to say that the exchange has received feedback from fans who understand that it will be a successful deal. Either way, both the Suns and Warriors are in desperate need of a new face, as they are currently ranked 12th and 9th in the West, respectively. Even depleted, Warriors get right with tight win at Pistons. The Tribune content agency updated January 9, 2025, 7:16 p.m. Detroit. After 2 straight disastrous showings against the Kings and Heat, the Warriors' effort was in question for the first time all year. Head coach Steve Kerr called it a crisis of confidence. He needed to see more competitive spirit. Even short 5 rotation players, the Warriors played with the type of urgency they'd been missing. Golden State forced 13 first-half turnovers to build a lead and, despite missing almost all of their rotational wings, contained Pistons star Cade Cunningham until the fourth quarter. Cunningham scored 18 of his 32 points in the fourth, and Steph Curry, 5 for 21, had an off-shooting night, but the Warriors, 19-18, got enough unlikely contributions to hold on for a 107-104 win. They're now 9-0 in games. Buddy Hield scores at least 18 points. Gue Santos, career-high 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a surprise hero, supplied the type of effort Golden State needed. Detroit had won 8 of 9 entering the Warriors matchup. But Golden State, desperate and reeling, halted their momentum. The Warriors chased down long rebounds on both ends and flew down the court off steals. Players on the bench stood up and clapped after turnovers and stops. The competitive spirit the Warriors had apparently lost this week looked charged up. Given how depleted the roster was, and how poorly they've played recently, the Warriors needed the energy. Jonathan Kuminga, out at least 2 more weeks with a sprained ankle, made the trip and sat on the bench in a walking boot. Andrew Wiggins went through morning shoot-around in Detroit before flying home for personal reasons. Moses Moody's lingering knee issues ruled him out. Brandon Podziemski and Gary Payton too are still not quite ready to return from their ailments. Half the rotation in street clothes left the Warriors with 10 healthy bodies, 2 of which were Santos and Pat Spencer. Santos in particular made the most of his chance. Normally at the end of Golden State's bench, Santos played 13 straight minutes in the first half, which the Warriors won by 18 points. Santos chased down a long offensive rebound, then battled for another one, creating extra possessions. He buried his first 3 three-pointers for a season-high 9 points, drew a charge and dropped a pair of dimes, too. Santos got 26 seconds of rest before Draymond Green picked up his third foul. Kerr tapped Santos over Kyle Anderson, who played 9 minutes even with the lack of options. Detroit closed the half on a 12-4 run after Curry checked back in, cutting the Warriors' advantage to 10. The Warriors opened their lead up to 17, but Detroit answered with 11 straight points. Kerr called timeout with 5:30 left in the third quarter after back-to-back threes from Cade Cunningham and Tobias Harris. More energetic minutes from Santos in the third helped the Warriors maintain their edge, but Curry missed all 4 of his shots each from behind the arc, in the frame, allowing Detroit to hang around. He started 1 for 11 from 3 and went 2 for 14 overall. In the fourth quarter, Santos sank his 4th tray and guarded Cunningham defensively. Green, playing 100 miles south of his hometown of Saginaw, fed Tracy Jackson Davis for a dunk, drew a charge and leaked out for a dunk. He also instigated a mini dust-up, igniting a fire under the Warriors and leading a 10-0 run. And after missing 6 straight shots, Curry converted a 4-point play to put the Warriors back up 16. Cunningham threatened to take over, but Dennis Schroeder made a couple key buckets to fend the Pistons off just enough. With 4.1 seconds left and trailing by 3, Cunningham perfectly missed a foul shot right to himself, earning the chance to send the game into overtime. But Malik Beasley's three-pointer fell just short as time expired. Warriors' Draymond Green reflects on his turbulent year. At this time last year, as Draymond Green prepared to rejoin the Golden State Warriors after an NBA-imposed suspension, his combustible temper and resulting lack of availability counted as 2 of their chief issues. Green missed 5 games after putting Minnesota's Rudy Gobert in a chokehold, another 12 after wildly swinging his arm and striking Phoenix's Jusuf Nurkic in the face, then another 4 getting back into playing shape. The Warriors struggled without him, falling to 18-22 when he returned in a sloppy loss to Memphis on January 15, 2024. Not quite 1 year later, Green finds himself in a different, healthier space as the Warriors wobble for other reasons. This left Green in a curiously talkative mood late Tuesday night. He stood in a near-empty Chase Center locker room almost 2 hours after a dispiriting loss to Miami, answering a wide range of questions in an interview with the Chronicle, frustrated by his team's deepening rut, reflective about his personal growth over the past 12 months, hopeful for a Jonathan Kuminga-led future. Green remains combative on the court this season, as evident in his 8 technical fouls and 2 flagrant 1 fouls. He also has avoided the skirmishes leading to last season's suspensions, which helped put the Warriors in an early hole from which they could not recover. "I'm finding a good balance and still being me," Green said. "I'm finding a balance of having that juice, that competitiveness, that mean streak and yet being 100% present in the moment, locked in and not taking myself out of the game. That was a big focus coming into the season, giving myself a chance again to be successful. I've worked my ass off all these years to put myself in a position to be successful. Don't take it away from yourself." Green credited Warriors head coach Steve Kerr with encouraging him to be himself, without getting into physical confrontations. One example, before last Saturday's win over Memphis, according to Green, Kerr told him, "I want you shooting a bunch of threes, and when you hit them turn around and talk ass to Grizzlies head coach, Taylor Jenkins." be exactly who you are. You can't win in this league like that. When teams make their runs, you have to stay 10 fingers under and be completely present, ready to fight. Right now, we just don't have that. Green didn't comment on the need for roster moves before the February 6 trade deadline, but he made one thing clear: he doesn't expect the Warriors to include Kuminga in any deal. Kuminga, Golden State's dynamic 22-year-old forward, will miss at least the next 2.5 weeks with a sprained right ankle. He was becoming a reliable scorer alongside Curry, averaging 21.1 points in the 13 games before his January 4 injury. Green became a mentor to Kuminga, advising him on the court and encouraging him off it. Green declared that Kuminga could become the face of the franchise for years to come, suggesting the Warriors would resist the temptation to use him as a bargaining chip to acquire an established star. "He's extremely important," Green said of Kuminga. "Look at the last 2 games without him. You don't see stars being traded very often, I'll leave it at that."